My business is with the lingering dead.
For a fee, yes, I know. But you can't deny evil practitioners exist. A few years ago, I had to cleanse this community from such a threat.
Why would she curse your colony?
Why would anyone choose to separate from God's flock? I'm afraid some just want to see the world burn, Mr. McCraith. By the grace and charity of the good Lord, she was exposed. It was my honor to serve him in sending her to hell where she belonged. Her mask was a good one, as if butter would not melt upon her tongue. But you cannot fool a man of faith and intellect. No, sir, you cannot.
You'll not mind me saying it, but for a Puritan paradise, you seem to get more than your fair share of witches.
God has not forsaken us, but someone here does the devil's work. Find me a witch, Mr. McCraith. Return this place to the Lord.
I'm a working man, Governor, but the Lord does seem happy to pay, so I'll do what I can.
Shite on these people. They can't hurt us. But how could you make him kiss it again?
Oh there. Are you all right, sir?
We're closed. Now. Out with you. Leave. Leave.
I can tell from your surly demeanour that you won't mind me asking you a couple of questions. I'm Red McCraith. I'm a Banisher. I'm searching the area for evidence of witchcraft. And you, I can tell, are itching to help me.
Show your shiting shapes, goose peddler. No witches here. Only myself, Caleb Watson.
Tell me a tale. What have you heard round about lately that might be of interest?
Gossip's for shite bags. Not being a shite bag, I don't gossip.
The Governor bade me make the rounds. Is anyone acting strange?
Why would he ask you that?
Everyone keeps secrets, and I have a talent for uncovering them.
I ain't got no secrets. I ain't done no wrong. Search me house if you don't believe me. See for yourself. And when you're done, if you're any kind of man, you'll come back here, doff your cap, apologise, then shite off and never come back.
If you're looking for someone acting strangely, I think you've found your man.
I'll be leaving you alone for now.
A man content with his own company is never alone. You hear that? Good one, right?
I have to admit, this is an unusual case.
Yes, but have you solved it?
I believe so. But the culprit was not responsible for the plague. At least not directly.
Have you found the witch or have you not?
Someone here has been dabbling in some dark magic. I have the name.
So, what are you waiting for?
Don't you want to hear the name?
I do not need to. The principle is what matters.
Not exactly. The name is Lamentation Haskell.
No, it can't be. My son is studious. Curious, too curious at times perhaps, but he does not have a bad bone in his heart.
He showed Caleb Watson a ritual. The cobbler used it and became possessed.
Even if true, it would only mean my son was exposed to corruption. It happened before. Bring me proof, Banisher. Find the real source of evil.
I'll get it. Mark me.
So, you can see me. Aren't you full of surprises, young Master Haskell?
You may talk. A Banisher ghost. Amazing. How on God's earth did you find me? Never mind that. Thank the Lord you did. Thought I was going to grow old in here.
As hiding places go, the Void is quite the choice.
Yes, an amazing place. Or plane? World? The Araloo is not easily described, but it makes a fascinating study. Tell me, how did you get past the Guardian beneath the mill? Did you use a decoy?
We fought it. Don't change the subject.
You fought it? Of course you did. A good thing too. I was starting to think it was wise to me tricks. Oh, but I have so many questions.
This isn't a social call, kid. And we're the ones with the questions.
Oh. Oh. Of course.
We must talk of Caleb Watson. Why in the hell would you give him a resurrection ritual?
Ruth's death hit poor Caleb hard. He was alone, and so I would often stop by his workshop. We talked. He took a keen interest in my studies and was a good listener. When he learned that she could possibly return, he had one question. How?
You saw his grief as an opportunity to test the effects of the Lesser Palingenesis.
Oh. You know the ritual too? Amazing, isn't it?
I've studied it. The actual ritual, not the mangled version you gave Caleb.
Yes, and I'm sorry. I found it in a copy of De Occulti Philosophia by Cornelius Agrippa von Nettersheim. A remarkable book.
I've met my fair share of illustrious occultists, and none owned an authentic Agrippa. Much is lost in translation or altered in the printing. I doubt your copy is an exception.
Of course! The power is in the words, and mine were wrong, so the power went awry. How very fascinating!
Are you aware of what would happen if people learnt of your studies?
Surely the acquisition of knowledge cannot be a sin.
Do you remember Deborah?
Miss Comenius. Yes, of course, I remember.
Your father tasked us with an investigation. One way or the other, we must return with the mystery solved.
Ah. I think I understand what you're saying. I might be in a tiny little bit of, danger.
You see ghosts. You stroll the void as if it were your garden. You possess and share forbidden rituals. Who are you really?
I'm Lammy Haskell, and I am a man of many sciences. I am in fact a true pursuer.
That raises more questions than it answers.
What are the pillars of the universe? Which principles underpin existence? As occultists, do we change the world or scratch upon its surface? Each discipline I embrace peels back a new layer of reality. I'm yet at the beginning, and see where I already stand. Amazing, no?
You did not find the void breach beneath the mill by accident. You had help. Who taught you?
I did my research.
Suddenly, you're a man of few words.
I'd rather not involve those not present. Discretion, you understand.
Your father is convinced a witch poisoned his well. Caleb Watson was cursed by a ritual you gave him. I'd focus if I were you.
We must counter the devil with knowledge of his tricks. That, my father always said, is the purest of God's work.
Aye. I can imagine your father saying that.
When I was 10, he gave me my initiation. Demonology, sir, as he would say. He saw me as his heir. Then, of a sudden, the books were forbidden. So I stole them. The very same books he'd forced upon me as a boy. I understand them where he does not. I did no wrong, apart from a little theft.
From the looks of this place, you're knee-deep in research. What are you doing here exactly?
Searching for the origin of the Harrow's plague, of course. and I have a theory on the subject.
Of course you do. Go on then.
Now, at first, I believed the water poisoned, but my father sealed the well, and yet folk remained sick. They looked for witchcraft, a foolish, uneducated suspicion, yes, but with some truth concealed behind it. You see, the Interlude taints New Eden. Its influence leaches into the Harrows. The evidence is everywhere.
Can you prove that? Where's your evidence?
In New Eden, the threshold between our plane and this is thin. Even I, a novice, may reach the frontier and then go beyond. I also believe it happened before. Some years ago, New Eden was hit by another epidemic.
Was it the same illness?
I believe that first epidemic was caused by the porosity of the frontier between New Eden and the Interlude. Although, where theirs was an affliction of burning flesh, ours is a corruption of mind and spirit. And I believe I have found its source. There is a substance, a strange ooze. You may have noticed it. This, I believe, is the true source of the Harrow's poison. It carries a particular stink, on the scent of which I experience first confusion, then a loss of control over my limbs.
Oh, this can't be good.
Who are you?
If we speak, so you listen?
Instead, you embrace one.
The charges, cowardice, overrated, deception. The verdict, guilty. The sentence, pain hereafter.
I never...
The Lord's promise of salvation from hell pleases them. The Lord's salvation from misery and sin here on earth does not.
This doesn't look like salvation from misery and sin.
The wicked pray for deliverance from the fires of hell, while piling the kindling high. They proclaim their love for their Lord, yet, in His name, they serve themselves. Their self-regard crumbles in the light of their hateful iniquities.
So true.
Mr. McCraith, my friend, I'm so glad you agree. Now, the wicked man never questions...
I have your answers.
What? Yes, good. Perhaps we should discuss this privately, if you'll give me just a moment.
It's quite the story. You might not wish to hear it. Neither may the good people here.
Please, this is not the time.
We want to hear the story. Let the Banisher speak.
Tell them, Red. Tell them good.
Aye. It is a story that starts with a question. A question for you, Governor. And maybe for all the good people of New Eden. If I give you a witch, will you do what you did to Deborah Comenius?
Comenius, say you? The school teacher walked with the devil and paid the appropriate price. That's the beginning of the history and also its end.
Is it, though? Now, I've learned much about Deborah Comenius and what happened to her, and it tells a very different tale.
And what story, pray you, does it tell?
It tells the story of a man, a latter-day King Solomon. When plague struck his subjects, they turned to him for guidance and protection, for they were God-fearing folk, and he was a godly king. The king turned his flock to God, but it was not enough. The plague spread on. The king, worried about his position, needed a sacrificial lamb.
You lose the run of your tongue, Mr. McCraith, and of the head to which it's fixed. There was no lamb. There was a trial, fair and lawful.
The trial was not fair. You had no proof, and you knew it.
Credible witnesses gave believable testimony, sir.
Witnesses like Gibbs, who pressured you into a guilty verdict to avoid being suspected of witchcraft yourself.
There was pressure, I'll not deny it. But I did what I did to protect the colony. It was a difficult time.
The picture of yourself that you hold in your mind is that of a great occultist.
To repel the devil, the wise and fearless man must learn the Black Spy's tricks.
Do you then consider yourself a true demonologist?
In order that a war be just, 3 things are necessary. Firstly, the authority of the sovereign. Secondly, a just cause. Thirdly, a rightful intention.
Aye, the Summa Theologiae of St. Thomas Aquinas, a classic quote from which you have conveniently omitted an important detail, to wit, a just cause is required, namely that those who are attacked should be attacked because they deserve it on account of some fault. Have you ever wondered what lies beyond the veil, past the hem, beyond the invisible? Have you ever heard of the Interlude?
What gibberish is this?
No? Your good friend Etienne Roulet did not, it seems, deign you worthy of his secrets. Never mind. You're a pompous coward,
fearful of anyone different, as human as that is.
There must be a man to judge, or there is no order. A man to make the judgment, and a man to enforce it. Of all people, you know this.
I live and let live. I choose only for the dead.
I choose for the living. These people are sinners, sir, and must be led back to the light. This is my mandate, my duty.
Admit it. You toy with magic you don't understand.
You, sir, are jealous.
I, sir, am tired. I've done my job, fulfilled my contract, I've found the source of the curse. The poison below the well is no more, no thanks to you.
Aha! Poison it was, then. The weapon of the wicked, to weaken the people's will. What was it, belladonna, hemlock, foxglove?
Betrayal. Truth unspoken. Secrets and lies. Wrongs, basically. Your wrongs. The wrongs you visited upon Deborah Comenius. The wrongs that led to her death.
She died at the hand of the body politic. She died at all our hands. Most of all, she died at her own.
She died because she would not submit.
'Twas not my plan to kill her, stupid, stubborn woman. Why did she not confess? I would have granted clemency. I would have shown her mercy.
You say your flock forced your hand. For the greater good, you say you indulged their bloodlust. I believe you did it. I don't believe your motive. You delighted in your magical witch hunt, your trivial rituals. You thought you'd be lauded for your humility and skill. But you have neither. Now all around you crumbles. Yet still you state your claim as the rightful protector of the people of New Eden. I have found the culprit, the devil worshipper, the source of the evil that has befallen your community. Sorry, son.
You're having a laugh.
Can't be.
Him? My son, a witch? You mock us, sir. Present proof or retract your ridiculous accusation.
Now you need proof. For years, Lammy studied your precious library of the forbidden, but he outdid his father. He learned. 'Twas Lammy who taught Caleb Watson the dark ritual that brought his beloved wife back from the dead.
I was trying to help. I did nothing wrong.
No, Lord have mercy.
For shame.
Boy was always strange.
No. No, Lammy is a good boy. I won't have it.
Easy, Governor. Your son's intentions were sound, and his mistakes, grave as they were, did not poison the well.
Forgive me for swearing in the meeting house, but this is a blooming farce.
Have I ever failed you? In evil times, have we not endured? Have I not protected you?
Fooled by his own flesh. How could he be so blind?
Have faith. The Banisher has lifted the curse. Brighter days are here. I knew you were trouble. You and your lady. Look what you've done.
Don't push your luck, Haskell.
I've given you a shot at redemption. It's more than you gave Deborah.
Damn you, Banisher! Paid in consideration of a curse lifted. All rights defended now and hereafter. I look forward to never seeing you again.
Don't count on it. The work's not done.
I hate. Of course you can. Aren't you angry?
I'm more disgusted. This region is doomed. I know it in my bones.
There's no shortage of suffering around here.
Haskell saw to that when he ordered Deborah's execution. I know that we're together, and it makes us strong, but I'm still wary.
Don't lose yourself. You've done far more than I could ever have asked.
I'll do what it takes, and gladly. You need not ask it.
The closer we get to my body, to the truth about what happened here, the stronger I feel. My senses rise. It's as if I can taste the silence, smell the scent of wood smoke, feel the warmth of your body, feel Deborah's wrath. I feel it as if it were a part of me. I understand her anger. I feel her rage and can't help but relate to it. But that anger of mine, that fear, I thought when I left home, I'd left them behind.
Past is the past. You still get to choose your future. Times like this, old wounds can ache. Seems normal.
It's more than that. My past casts a growing shadow upon my heart. So much so that the sister I thought was gone for good seems to be winding her way back to me.
Your sister. Ayomide, wasn't it?
No. As a child, before I left Cuba, I had a friend. I chose to call her my sister. That night, the night I died, I dreamed of her. I dreamed of Calendre.
Did you go looking for her? Was she near him? It's not beyond the realm of possibility.
It's so far beyond the realm of possibility you wouldn't believe it. No, she wasn't there. But I heard her voice. I'd swear on it. How could that be?
Dreams can be vivid. Can be difficult to separate them from reality.
I was awake, Red.
What did you hear her say?
I don't know. I don't remember. I think she said we were family. Never to be divided.
She's after my job. She can't have it. I'm your family now. Nothing's tearing us apart.
Death has already torn us apart.
I hate this is where we are. I hate that I'll have to say goodbye. But for now, I'll do everything in my power to catch you.
This is how we win. Thank you for being the kindest soul I've ever met.
Thank you for being the bravest.
The Banishers are here.
Already? How unfortunate.
You called us.
Did I? I thought I had more time. In the end, it runs out for all of us. As I depart this old carcass, I leave no burning heart behind. stay. To prevail, you must first set your heart at peace. When at last you face the nightmare, you must both be clear on what you want. You must.
What do you mean?
It is not for me to give you answers, only to prepare you for what awaits. Then we can all go to sleep. Seeker doesn't hate you, Rory. She's just not used to being trusted. Protect her. For me. You're too late, old Mosshead, as ever. Time for peace. I forgive you, old man.
Old Mosshead is no more. He'll never drink from your skull now, will he? Another ancient promise broken. But what about me? How do I live now? You were all I ever had, and all I'll ever have. Can I set the world on fire now? I just want to see it burn. A pity. Farewell, then. She took me in when no one else wanted me. She taught me to stand up straight.
Leave her be. For now. She'll try to make sense of her pain. Or perhaps she'll sit with it a while.
If she has regrets, she must tame them.
Grief knows no rule book.
I remember Aoife's wake. Friends and neighbours came from miles around. We stood and watched over for a day and a night. There was food and drink, song and dance. We honoured and rejoiced in the life she'd led, short as it was. I did not have a wake when my father died. Nor my mother, nor Blair or Anik. But we were running from our enemies and barely had time to bury them. It was as if their deaths hadn't happened. What if your family can never properly say goodbye? Never see your grave?
Mourning customs are social rituals. My family knows how I feel about these things. We know better. As long as my body is free of the nightmare, that is all that matters. I'll be all right.
Aye. You'll be all right. What about me? What about me when you are truly gone? Who am I without you? I never wanted to know. When I woke in that cave, I felt like I'd lost everything. I feel like I lost everything.
I'm still here.
For now. And I'm so afraid when you won't be anymore.
I'm afraid too. Afraid to leave you behind. Afraid to journey on.
I had such plans. We'd live such wonders together. I wanted more time.
So did I. But we are together now. One last great adventure.
Aye. That's something. I miss the warmth of your skin. So much.
And I yours.
But are we sure about what we're doing? Are you sure this is what you want?
We made an agreement. Are you having second thoughts?
I don't know. Maybe.
Ceridian's death has changed things for you.
Aye. But more so Seeker's grief. I could have you back. I long for it. It pains me.
Should we reconsider? It may not be too late to change our minds. But you must promise me, Red, whatever we decide, we stick to it. We cannot change our minds again.
I swear it, my love. This is it.
We may be tempted. We must not succumb.
Banishers will remain.
Banishers. To the end.
Aye, my love. To the end.
Spared by the Banishers, but his undoing complete, Mr. Fairfax Haskell must live with his sins. Their governor rode the pendulum from pinnacle to pit. The shaken faithful must turn once again to the Lord. This new quest for purity may end like the last, in injustice and misery. But to whom will they listen? Can they be stopped before it's too late?
None in, none out. Not living nor dead.
Name's Red McCraith. I'm obviously a Banisher. Open the door there. I've business within.
Your business is, if you'll excuse my articulating the evident, not my business. I have my orders. You can't come in.
I hear you, friend. What's your name?
The name's Andrew White, and you seem a pleasant fellow. I like a Scot, me, but standing here, I'm on duty. And when I'm on duty, I'm not your friend. Listen, mate, folk in here have problems enough, and I can't be disobeying orders. Either priests or Pennington would have my guts, and I fancy neither.
Pennington knows me. He'll know I can help.
I'm sure he does. But put one dead man down, and 3 come back next day. Round here, sweet victory fast turns bitter. Bottom line is, the captain is indisposed, and I'll not add your complications to the pile. Now, you want to lend a hand? Mrs. Priest and her party are overdue. You can't miss the outpost. It looks out across the valley. If you could find her, and make sure she doesn't die, you'd surely gain her favor. And favor, as they say, opens doors.
Get in a fight and find your boss and dig her out of whatever hole she's in. All right. I can do that.
They have Spectre troubles. Let's first clear the nearby nest to relieve the fort, then deal with the missing.
How holds the fort?
How holds the fort? Precariously, that's how. Our strength dwindles, and we'll soon run out of powder. Priest took Williams and that other fella, and off they went, scavenging for supplies. They've not yet returned.
It's dangerous out there. The scavenger may easily become the carrion.
Heard any good scuttle lately?
The dead are coming, and you want to gossip. I admire your sang-froid, and that's the Lord's truth, but now, sir, is not the time.
Right. I'll likely be back.
Find our friends, Banisher. Or put them to rest.
I'll try. As soon as I take care of the Spectre's nest, I'll go looking for the outpost.
My bolt is shot!
Behind you!
You'll be Haskell's Banishers. Thank you. Thank you both.
You can't see me.
Clear as day, just as I can see. This is my husband. I am Helen Priest.
Antea Duarte. This is my partner, Red McCraith.
It is rare that the living can see the lingering dead.
All I know is one day I woke after 7 long years of grief, and my Sebastian was back. It was as if my prayers had at last been answered. That was enough for me.
In times of danger, I am duty-bound to protect the woman I love. You understand?
"7 years. Why come back now?"
It did not feel like 7 years. Suddenly, I felt her pain calling to me.
Divine intervention or otherwise, all that matters is that my dear Sebastian is back. Now, when I need him most.
Andrew White sent us. He thought you might be in trouble. Plainly, you needed your guardian angel.
We needed more than one. thanks to you, we'll resupply the camp. Matthews and Williams did not die in vain.
This was a risky expedition. But Helen had no choice. If the survivors were to rely on Pennington alone, the fort would have already fallen.
I suspect that's so. Sometimes difficult choices must be made. That's courage.
All the courage in the world will be worthless if those in command won't match it.
Pennington did this while monsters relentless besieged the fort. But make no mistake, these men's deaths are on the captain's conscience. If he has one.
How so?
7 years ago, a plague came to New Eden. Pennington quarantined the sick in the mines, walled them up. They were dark times. Hard times. None knew what the morrow would bring. We all lost much. Too much. As second in command, Sebastian volunteered to stay. Walled in with the others, he held out the longest. He died a hero. And now the Forsaken are rising. They demand revenge.
Who would blame them? I watched them die. Soldiers and miners, sick and hungry, begging for help they knew would never come.
Captain Pennington has much blood on his hands.
I'm sorry. You've been through a lot.
We have. We are, and will persist till we prevail.
We should get back to the fort. We will escort you.
Captain Pennington.
No time, no way out, no hope, no way in. No time at all.
Captain Pennington, sir.
Mr. McWraith, you live.
There's work to be done.
Work? You had work. A mission. To bring one last glimmer of hope. To gladden our hearts before the pit takes us all.
You secretive bastards haven't helped.
The job is done. There's no more hope and little enough time. All that remains is the pit. Welcome to the last stand, McWraith. Welcome to the end.
I wouldn't surrender just yet, Captain. I found Helen Priest. We brought supplies.
A waste of effort on both accounts.
Hardly. We saved a life. Resupplied, you may save more.
For the sake of what? For the sake of days, a week perhaps? You've saved no one. You've prolonged the terror. The dead will come. Our throats will feel their bony fingers soon enough. The end is inevitable.
It is if you will not act. You're the officer, take command. Surely you can't intend to do nothing.
You sound like Priest. She has changed. Her return to Fort Jericho has made her impulsive, irrational, quarrelsome. I believe she did not fully grieve her husband's loss. Returning to the scene has, it seems, reopened the wound. It festers. She'll join the lieutenant soon enough. When our defences crumble at the last, the pit shall take us all.
How do things stand, Captain, as you see them?
Little has changed. The dead flood from the mines. We shoot them down and gain respite. Soon, the onslaught begins anew. The clock of our extinction ticks on towards the hour. We may no more defeat the dead than we may vanquish the ocean waves.
Folk have little enough hope, and you're leading them further into the darkness.
I've heard the whispers, the murmurs, the plotting from the shadows. We hold till the last. We resist, till retribution rises from the pit and drags us all to hell.
Well, that's something worth waiting for.
I fail to see the appeal of this slow agony.
How unfortunate. Because thanks to you, and the time you bought us, the agony will be all the slower.
May I have a word?
Helen, something wrong?
Apologies for disturbing your rest. I'm afraid it can't wait. What did you think of the captain?
I saw an officer alone. A proud man turned to stone, perhaps by years of war. I saw a broken man.
I did not see the tyrant you described.
Inaction is tyranny. He will not act, but nor will he get the hell out of the way.
I do not disagree, but the captain needs help.
I too was a soldier, broken and haunted. With Anthea's help, I recovered. Pennington may need the same.
Leave Pennington to me. The good folk of the fort need your help. You are Banishers. The dead, you'll have noticed, hammer at the gates. I would like you to go into the mines and find out what enrages them so. I would like you to do what the captain will not.
And while we deal with the hordes of angry spectres, what shall you be doing?
When the mines are purged, I'll oust Pennington.
Where do we go?
There is a second tunnel into the mines. The entryway was walled shut during the quarantine. Getting there will not be easy, but the barricade should fall without too much difficulty. After that, who knows?
Underground again. Wonderful.
If it soothes you, I too am taking a significant risk. The captain has a penchant for locking people up and leaving them to rot. Some years ago in New Eden Town, the captain locked up an innocent woman. A fate I wish to avoid.
Pennington the jailer. Do you speak of Deborah? What did he do?
I was away from New Eden Town at the time. Rumours said she was a witch, I later heard. And so too did the captain. The court agreed. Who knows what urges drove the captain then? He is a secretive man, and always has been.
Murdering coward. Blame Pennington all you want. We know 'tis a lie.
I didn't! I never did that! It's not me! It's all a lie! I love Helen with all my heart. Pennington must pay. You must make Pennington pay for his crimes!
You'll not get away with this, Sebastian.
These must be Sebastian's remains.
Curious. Priest said he was the last to die. Said he shot himself when hope ran out. That someone stove this fella's head in with a pike. This was no romantic suicide. This was bloody murder. Plus, there's no ghost tie. Look, the mark from before.
No ghost tie. So why did he not pale and become a spectre like the rest?
Sebastian told Helen a story. His prominent chest wound was part of it. But it's a fiction. He spun her a lie.
I'm starting to doubt the lieutenant's ghost. I think it's an effigy of Sebastian sent to get close to Helen. Maybe even to Pennington. Not a spectre. Something more elaborate. But what? And why?
Can you see it?
Not yet.
I hear you. Pennington. Have you returned, Captain? At long last, will you free me?
What happens if we do?
Then I will crawl and climb and knock, and the captain will taste his own medicine.
You're Deborah, right? Pennington had you arrested and clapped you in chains.
A broken part, locked away, forgotten, down in the dark. Lift the heavy chains from her, free me!
If we do, will you talk with us? It's over. Go in peace.
No peace, no pardon, naught but darkness and decay.
No. All this must stop and you must stop it.
Dark decay and the maddest words of the worst of men.
Whose words? Pennington's?
The worst of men.
When the maddening silence becomes the darkest night, the faintest voice is welcome as the dawn.
Deborah.
Justice long denied.
Wait!
Thought you'd been killed in the mines.
Soon will all lie dead in the mines.
Neither one more word nor a move from you.
The mines are cleansed of their madness, which is more than I can say for this room.
You banished the thing in a pit. Truly, it's gone.
Aye, the puppeteer is no more. The siege is lifted. Don't get excited. You're still up to your neck in shite. You've still to answer for what you did, and what you did not.
I do not answer to civilians, nor to mutineers.
You will answer to the dead.
Once a woman in chains cried out and you did not listen. This is why you're cursed. Confess. Your future, and the future of many, depends on it.
I'll confess there is no future. I'll confess I led us here to make our final stand. And we still stand. To that I'll confess, and claim the credit.
We fall one by one.
Then we weep, we rage, but we stay loyal and true. Even the widows must stay true.
Guilt eats you from the inside. You knew you should have braved the mines. You couldn't bring yourself to do it.
I choose to die in the light. There is nothing in the pit but darkness.
There's more to this. An older guilt. A deeper fear.
You may be to blame for the tragedy in the mines, Pennington, or you may not. But the puppeteer wanted you dead. Some years back, you accused a local woman of witchcraft. You locked her up. The puppeteer was quite angry about that. Fairfax Haskell too played a part in the killing of Deborah Comenius. He faced up to his wrongs. Now you will face up to yours.
At last the die stops rolling and my number has come up. I'll tell it now. I'll tell it all.
When you slandered her, you knew there'd be a witch hunt. Why'd you do it?
There was no slander. It was true. She was corrupt. She was evil. And she was a school teacher. Someone had to think of the children.
It's horse shit, but he seems to believe it. We're getting closer to the truth.
Deborah was no witch. The good and fearful folk of New Eden turned on her to protect themselves, and so did you. You recognized her in the puppeteer, didn't you?
I'm sorry. Puppeteer? That's what was in the mines, wasn't it? And you knew, didn't you? How long? For how long have you known?
What I know and you do not would fill a library.
Helen is misguided. Under Sebastian's malign influence, she will remain so. Yet Pennington is little better. Which way do you lean?
Though you and your pistol mean well, Mrs. Priest, you do not understand the power that guides you.
Do what you must, and face the consequences. Cast the die.
I will. All right. No more lies. No more hate. And no more mutiny. You mean well, but no good can come of it. The puppeteer sent the captain spectres. It also sent an unwitting assassin. You, Helen Priest.
The ghost by your side is not your husband. It's a husk, a sham, an elaborate fake.
Your beloved Lieutenant Priest was no hero. He was the tyrant. His victims dead in the mines tell the story.
I am Sebastian Priest. I love my wife. I want her safe.
You're a scarecrow. Built from Helen's idealized memories of the man she loved, then sent to trick her into mutiny.
Without the puppeteer, the veneer will fade. Soon you'll be a spectre once more.
I loved you so.
I'm not sure I understand what just happened. But you, Helen Priest, are under arrest.
You're still a prick.
For your trouble.
Loving him, right or wrong. made me who I am. How much of you is made from loving your man?
Probably not enough.
Dawn, at last.
Looks like the nightmare's curse is lifted here. Job done. Look, all this, it's a lot to endure. We're both exhausted. I know I am.
I cannot tire.
I know. I know how hard it's been for you.
You have no idea. None at all.
I'll do my best to understand, if you'll let me. We should have faith. Look at us. We'll get to where we're going.
Shut up, Red. Shut up. This isn't about what we have conquered or what we have achieved or how far we have journeyed. Look at us. Look at me. I loathe what I've become. Can't you see that?
I was trying to help. I'm sorry.
Stop apologizing. Good night.
Antea. I would have gone with you. Not funny. I have to walk to the stupid bloody island.
See?
Well, throwing my weapons through your will is a little unsettling.
Now they who remain must set old sins aside and build a future, with Pennington or without. Because the captain sees no brighter horizons behind the blackened clouds of his past.
You're back. Why?
Good day to you too, Thickskin. How do things stand since last I saw you?
Would it please you to hear all is well and you are the author of it? Well, all is not well, and yes, you are the author of it. Kate is gone.
Where? Why?
We had an argument. Harsh words were spoken. She left for the woods. I would have you bring her back. I don't have time to go chasing after her.
What makes you think I do?
You will do me this favour. After all, the situation is at least in part your fault.
Surely she'll cool off and come round. And you can talk things out.
What's there to talk about? Just bring her back. We've work to do.
Perfect. One sister won't stay and talk, the other won't sit and listen.
She's probably gone to the hunting lodge she likes to spend time in, near the road to Boston. Find her. Bring her to her senses. Then send her back here. Send her home.
Do you know anything about Kate and a certain Grace?
That's a name I haven't heard in a long time. Why'd you ask?
I found a letter, an old one, addressed to Grace, but mentioning Kate. It'd help to know who she is.
I can't help you. And if I could help you, I wouldn't. After all that has happened, Kate's tale is hers to tell, and hers alone.
But you admit you knew a Grace. I'm guessing she's from New Eden.
Ask Kate, for I'll say naught.
All right, then. One last question. Does the name Seeker mean anything to you?
Seeker, you say? Now this I can answer. I've never heard that name in my whole life.
Well then, I'll be leaving. Oof! How's Balls, lady?
Oh, Mr. McGrath!
You are a monster.
Thank God! I mean, I'm so sorry. Oh, Lord.
Never did like me, Mistress Fitcher.
Please don't be childish. That's not true. I doubted you. It's not the same thing. But you slayed the beast. God was with you, and I was wrong to doubt. Well, I have thoroughly embarrassed myself. Forgive me, if you can. Your ghost stories went to my head. I was gathering plants in the woods. I thought I was attacked by a ghost. Isn't that ridiculous?
She's haunted, clear as day.
That's funny, I thought ghost stories were the domain of the charlatan.
I deserve that. I admit I ran in panic. In doing so, I dropped my bag. There are medical supplies in it. Could you get it for me?
Medical supplies are valuable. A shame to lose them. I'll see what I can do.
May God's goodness go with you, if you're serious. I still can't tell if you're a serious man.
Thickskin said I might find you here when she sent me looking.
Oh, I don't want to hear it.
I'm trying to track someone down, and I was hoping you could help me.
I doubt I'll be much use, but I'll help you if I can.
So, I found your name in an old letter. It was addressed to someone by the name of Grace. It was written by Deborah Comenius.
You're tenacious, I'll give you that. But must you push so?
Deborah wrote of a cabin in the woods. Could this Grace person have found it?
I don't know. It was all a very long time ago. I had forgotten her.
Did Grace ask you for help?
No. Grace Pennington vanished. No one ever saw her again.
Grace Pennington? As in Captain Saul Pennington?
Pennington had a daughter, and you knew her.
I knew her, but not well. Deborah had her in the school and spoke of her from time to time. Shy as a porcupine and twice as prickly, as I recall.
Deborah wrote the letter in February 1688. When did Grace disappear?
Months later, Pennington accused Deborah of being a witch. In my recollection, that moment overshadows all others.
Could Grace have survived alone out here in the woods?
Possibly. But could she remain unseen? No. All thought she'd left New Eden. Gone west, perhaps into the wilds.
Does the name Seeker mean anything to you?
It sounds less a name than a calling, but neither mean anything to me. We done.
One more question. Did the school teacher keep a cabin in the woods?
Deborah spent much time walking the woods, trying to understand New Eden, she said. Now that you mention it, I remember a snowstorm. She spent 3 days in a hut not far from here. Southeast, across the drawbridge, along the path towards the mine. If it's still there.
I found your journal, Kate. Stop lying to yourself.
How dare you?
I dare, because you care. Come on, say it. Get it out.
I'm afraid to.
It'll be all right. I promise.
I don't want to care. I don't want to care for them. I don't want to care for Thickskin.
Aye, but you do. And you can. As long as you care for yourself, first of all, so... what's it to be?
I'll go. When I'm ready, I'll return. But she will step down. Further, and you may tell her this, I do not care to keep her secret. Not no more.
All right. I'll tell her it. All of it.
That mutinous varlet escapes her cell and you swan in here without a care in the world. You expect me to believe the two unrelated?
Is he looking for a new scapegoat? Already?
Answer the question, McGrath. Where is Ellen Priest?
Lost your prisoner, have you? Well, I can't blame her for running, but I can tell you this. I had not a thing to do with it. And I don't know where she is.
I should lock you up for this.
You'd enjoy that, wouldn't you?
All right, Captain. Settle down. Walk me through what happened.
I don't know what happened, not exactly. The cell keys have vanished, a mutineer with them. Now, her character is one part vinegar and the other Malaise. Now, who knows what bitter treason she now foments.
All due respect, sir, this is not my circus, and Mrs. Priest is not my clown. This is not Banisher business.
That we know of.
While she remains out there, flapping loose like an undone mainsail, there can be no trust in here. Find her, McGrath, and I shall believe you. Find her, and do what must be done.
What do you know of a young woman named Grace?
I don't know where you heard that name, Banisher, but you should not say it again.
It's important, else I wouldn't ask.
Important or not, you'll have no answer.
After all I've done, I rather think you owe me it.
The Four told you, that much is true. But the debt will be settled some other way.
I read the name on a letter. It was a very interesting missive. According to this letter, what happened to Grace was entirely your fault.
No! The fault was hers. She was stubborn.
The letter told quite the tale. I'd like to hear your side of it.
I have heard tell, sir, of the contumacious Scots, and I did not hear wrong. For you are indeed relentlessly, perversely, bloody-mindedly obstinate.
Why the mystery?
A stubborn and difficult child. Always quick to disobey. Especially when the orders were mine. Never understood her antagonism or hostility. A sheer bloody-minded antipathy. She didn't get it from her mother. Now I have no daughter, and it is all the better for all concerned.
The letter was clear. You're to blame for what happened to her.
She has no one to blame but herself. I tried to prevent it. She would not listen. I hurt her. That, sir, is laughable. I worked hard to make up for her mistakes, so she would not pay the price for them.
Whatever you did seems to have made things worse.
I stood firm. That, sir, is what must be done, and that, sir, is what I do. I stand firm.
Want to tell me what happened?
If you must know it, I sent her away. I exiled her.
Why? Why would you do that?
She left me with no choice. I caught her in an act of sin. I caught her reading, studying. Witchcraft, sir. I caught her studying witchcraft. There was a book. I don't know where it came from, and damned if I could get rid of it, but She would not put it down. Not even after I forbade it.
Now, why does Lammy Haskell suddenly spring to mind? And Deborah, too.
Though Deborah was innocent, you accused her of witchcraft. Do you deny it?
Deny it? I claim it. By law, she was no witch. But neither was she innocent. She was poison. The ruiner of children. She corrupted my grace. I am a much changed man with the intervening years. Looking back, with the benefit of experience, I was entirely right and would not change a thing.
If I came to learn your daughter survived, if I knew where she was...
No, I'd have nothing to say to her. For me and all who know me, Grace Pennington is long dead. Think what you will of me, I care not. I did what was necessary, and I'd do it again. And that is all there is to say.
We found a page ripped from a book. Here, do you recognize it?
Let me see. Is this from the Trismegistus riddles? Yes, it seems to be. Why would you bring me one mildewed page from an amusing but harmless little book?
Why would you fail to disclose that you'd given another ritual to another friend?
It was a long time ago. I said after Caleb I'd distribute no more rituals, and that's what I've done. Not done.
We know. But we're looking for Grace Pennington now, and we were hoping you'd help us find her.
Who?
Really, boy?
Oh, I'm sorry, Mistress Antea. You said Grace's name, and it is my reflex to protect her.
Ever heard of someone named Seeker?
Seeker? No. Sounds like a title, like my true pursuer. This Seeker... Is she Grace? Is she alive? Do you know where she is?
We think she's Grace. We hope she's still alive. We're trying to find her.
We think she's hidden herself away behind your dissimulation spell.
Then you'll need to unravel it. Shouldn't be too difficult once you're armed with the salient facts.
When was the last time you saw Grace Pennington?
It had to be a few days after I brought her the cloaking ritual. When I returned to visit, the hut had disappeared. Which makes sense now that I think of it.
That's it? You never again tried to find your best friend, your only friend.
Well, you see, some weeks later, the first whispers of witchcraft started to fly about town. I kept my head down, and Grace was better off out of it. I was right. And I'm glad she escaped. Strange to think of her again after so long.
How does the ritual work?
It creates illusions so effective that they deceive even the keenest eye. There are more effective cloaking spells, but the Trismegistus riddles do have a simple elegance.
The short version, please, ending with how we break it.
Yes, of course. To achieve that, all you need is the caster's full name and the symbol used to make fast the illusion.
Grace Pennington and a triangle pointing downwards.
Well then, now all you need is a simple counterspell from the same book, and... Oh my.
What now?
I'm afraid I left my copy in the Interlude. In the void.
That's just great. Just great.
Yes, but in my defense, once you've retrieved the book, dispelling Grace's illusion will be like a walk in the park. Comparatively speaking.
We overheard you. What are you working on?
I, to my horror, am working on a speech. It's terrible. I don't even know where to start.
You've not asked for advice, but I'll give it anyway. You could start with forgiveness. Seems appropriate.
That might just work. Thank you!
What's going on here, Lamentation Haskell?
Nothing's going on here. Not really. All right. Folk despair. They've lost trust in my father. They finished the meeting house, but... well, people talk and foolish people shout. In their wisdom, the flock decided that we were heretics, or worse. They took down the wards, burned our books, and then set fire to our house.
They're afraid. Can you blame them?
No. It was inevitable. If anything, I blame myself for failing to see it coming. Without the wards, the situation worsens, and folk blame my father.
Would they be wrong?
Right or wrong, spectres walk once more, and we need the services of a banisher. Or two. If you can bring people peace, I doubt they'll be grateful. But I shall.
Thank you for your help.
Could you tell Grace that I'm still her friend? I'd be glad to see her again.
Once we found her, we'll be glad to tell her.
Let the veil of unknowing be lifted. Let us see through the eyes of Grace Pennington.
Ceridian?
You're surprisingly slow, even for a banisher. You're late. Or early.
At last we find you.
Missed me that much, did you? You could have hurried. You always think you have more time, and suddenly you don't.
It wasn't in vain. We have come far and learned much.
I hope so. But don't think you have it all figured out. You're still banishers, after all.
We are indeed, Grace.
So, you know.
I know you're Pennington's daughter. Still, I see the family resemblance.
In the end, neither could he.
It must have hurt.
The dear captain is many things, but he is a Puritan through and through. And I, his daughter, am a witch. I defied him. I sought forbidden knowledge and stepped beyond the boundaries. At the end of that most painful of journeys, Grace was dead. And Seeker was born. Yes, it hurt, but it was worth it. I accept it now. I accept it all. Ceridian has left a hollow, and I am called to fill it. I accept. I am ready for my role in this world. Are you ready for yours?
Back to New Eden and face the nightmare.
Yes. Balance must be restored. You must face your fate and end the curse.
Ceridian said the only way back was through the void. But the pond seems broken. We need your help.
Of course you do.
We're listening.
Remember Ceridian's words. If you were to defeat the nightmare, your hearts must be open to each other. No barriers. Your bond must be strong.
We've never been stronger.
This void breach is not like the others. This one leaks. This one sits at the rotten core of the entire region. You must leave whatever still burns in your hearts at the threshold. If you don't, the void will kill you.
Do you know where in New Eden Town the void shall lead us?
The trick is to focus on your happiest memories and let them take you there. At least that's how it's always worked for me.
We'll try.
And when at last you succeed, I too shall return to New Eden Town. I shall see you there.
Wait. This is it, isn't it?
This is it.
You always think you have more time, and suddenly you don't.
Do you have regrets?
If there's one thing I've learned while working as a banisher, and working with you, it's that people look through the world through whatever lens they believe is the right one. And that leaves no room for regrets. We all make mistakes. We all work with what we have. So no regrets. My lens today is not the same as my lens back then. I've made peace with my own life.
Are you saying people can change?
Don't get ahead of yourself. I had a good life. We had a good life.
I'm gonna miss you so very much.
There's much to do between here and goodbye. Let's go do it. Thank you for standing by my side through it all, for everything. Into the fray, then.
Always. What is it?
Baggage I may need to finally face. Let's press on.
At last you visit Calendre, your bestest friend.
We are not friends, and your name is not Calendre.
Perhaps I should name myself by what called me to you. Your weariness, your solitude, your arrogance.
For years, I would not shoulder the weight of what I did. I would not face my regrets. I would not wear my guilt. My home burned to the ground. My face was marked forever. When I look in the mirror, I think of you. I fled the family I'd nearly killed. I buried my true feelings in hate for you. No more. I loved you once. You were my sister. You were my soul. I don't care what you really are. To me, you are manipulation and lies and nothing else. If the void birthed you, then I pity you. I forgive Calendre for being nothing but a mirror. And I forgive myself for not knowing better.
And you, Rory McGrath? Can you forgive her for leaving you alone and unloved and haunted only by her memory?
I don't need you. I never did. Your tricks don't work on me. Not anymore.
I shall not let you go. No, this is my realm now. You sent me here, And now that you have joined me, I shall feed.
Then you are still a fool.
Antea. Such a clever girl. So good with words of power. Is that how you seduced your little pet here?
My name is Nezuko, and I am the relentless servant of the Queen of Kerr.
The hell?
Come, stay a while. Stay.
It's strange to sleep near the place where you died.
Still, rest you should. You'll need it.
I don't know that I can.
Come on. Spit it out.
What will I say to you when you go? When I give you your assent?
When the moment comes, you'll know what to say.
I'll be the Banisher, bringing an ending to his own haunting case. How does that work?
The same as any other. You'll undo the tie. Don't worry. I won't resist.
But why did you stay? What is the tie that we're undoing?
I told you to be careful. That night in this room, I told you to be careful. I worried you'd act rashly and told you not to. You got up and walked straight into her trap.
I thought you'd gone to the meeting house without me.
I died to save you.
You stay out of anger.
Yes, I stayed because I was angry. Angry with you.
I think I've known that for a while now.
The anger lingers. Part of me resents you yet. For my pain and my fear. For my suffering. For my dying. I resent you.
Antea, I'm truly sorry.
I know you are. You've done your best to put things right. But I did die. And in a few short hours, you will have to let me go.
So, the circle is complete. Do you return to the beginning? Or is it the beginning of your return?
A paradox. How clever. How it pleases you to play with time.
I do not play.
Deborah, we know what happened to you. We know what they did to you.
What they did. What they do. I shatter yet.
We're not here to hurt you. You have my body and I want it back. That's all. Help us. Because we can help you.
No, you cannot. Enough. You are me, yet you oppose me. They murdered us. Make them pay. No. They do not deserve our rage, not these two.
all deserve our wrath. They crushed the breath from us. You know this. You asked for this. Not anymore.
It's over. You have been heard. The truth is out.
No! Come back! Feed upon the pain, the treachery, the outrage!
No more. It hurts.
Behold my wrath! If they live, they win. All of them.
Enough pain now.
There must be a reckoning.
The pain may end right now. The reckoning is here.
Spare me your compassion, for it comes far too late.
Who are you?
I am Retribution.
A word. An idea. But who are you?
I am her fury.
No longer.
I am their nightmare!
You were.
You believe you've won. It will not be so easy. For I will haunt your dreams.
Is that an end to it?
Yes. If you want it to be.
Are you sure? In your hand you weigh my death, the last stone laid upon my broken body.
I'm so very sorry.
Will you leave? Are you ready?
I have lingered so very long. Where now will I go?
I don't know. A better place, I believe. A quiet place.
Quiet is good.
Deborah Comenius, mere words can ill describe your suffering. And if they could, I'd not utter them now. Enough wrong has been done you. Your tale is told, and we thank you for it. You are hurt. and free to go.
Hey, I'm right here.
Aye, you are.
The time has come, and I must go.
That was the promise I made.
We've done good work here. We've made my death count for something.
Someday, we'll meet again.
Take all the time in the world. I love you, Rory McGrath.
These years I've spent by your side have made me a better man. You've taught me to survive. You've taught me to live. Thank you. From my heart of hearts, thank you. Farewell, my love.
Death for the dead.
Life for the living.
If grief is an odyssey through hell, then what appears to be the end is often just a beginning. New Eden never recovered. For years, neither did Red. But in time, the pain of Antea's loss faded, and only the bittersweet beauty of their love lived on in his memory. Who knows? Perhaps, years from now, a legendary Scotsman, his hair grey, shall sit with his children and many apprentices and tell them a story. the tale of his beloved Antea, of how she lived, and how she died, and how together, in New Eden, they lifted a curse and defeated a nightmare.
You had the power to stop the madness, but instead you chose to let it run all the way to its barbaric conclusion. You brought the curse down on New Eden. Then you called we Banishers in to fix your mistake. You boast of your knowledge of demons and spirits, but in truth, you master nothing. You're a peacock. All show and no meat. I'm not here today to bring justice. But this man, your governor, brought death to your doors. He deserves blaming. And shame on me if I don't do it.
Hell's bells!
No!
Friends, have I ever not served the interests of our community? Have I not protected you? Have I not loved you?
Death to the dead.
This is unfair.
Is the evil gone for good?
Far from it.
Then who will protect us?
I will. While Mr. McCraith fights the curse of New Eden, I will protect the people of the Harrows. Or at least, try. Now let's all return to our homes and pray for forgiveness and the strength to bear the consequences of our actions. Your fee. One of the many debts my father left me.
You'd best put your own debts first, young Master Haskell.
Don't I know it?
I hate this place. Rest up, then please, let's get out of here. I tried to make ready to leave, tried to steel myself. I really did.
As did I. We were fooling ourselves.
With luck, we may yet fool fate.
Luck favors the prepared. I'll study up on the resurrection ritual.
Is it worse to lose your faith in your fathers than it is to lose faith in yourself? Those in the Harrows who lived would be wise to look inwards, to reflect, and then to pay penance. But none carry a greater burden than young Lamentation Haskell. How will he guide the faltering faithful when he has so little faith in himself?
You failed, Captain. As an officer, as a man. You brought a curse upon the people of New Eden. No. The fort needs a leader without blood on her hands. I'll do it. I'll place the blame where it belongs. How Marif, how Gunjo.
Life to the living.
Death to the dead.
When has a man seen and done too much? As a soldier, a leader, a father.
Down with tyranny. Justice prevails. If we are to survive, there is much to do, and survive we shall. For the record, beyond that door, Captain Pennington was tried and executed for his crimes.
We did what was needed. The story you tell is up to you. Looks like the nightmare's curse is lifted here.
Job done.
If they live, they win. All of them. Enough pain now. There must be a reckoning.
The pain may end right now. The reckoning is here.
Spare me your compassion, for it comes far too late.
Who are you?
I am retribution.
A word, an idea. But who are you?
I am her fury.
No longer.
I am their nightmare!
You were.
You believe you've won. It will not be so easy. For I will wound your dreams.
Is that an end to it?
Yes. If you want it to be.
Are you sure? In your hand you weigh my death, the last stone laid upon my broken body.
I'm so very sorry.
Will you leave? Are you ready?
I have lingered so very long. Where now will I go?
I don't know. A better place, I believe. A quiet place.
Quiet is good.
Deborah Comenius, mere words can ill describe your suffering. And if they could, I'd not utter them now. Enough wrong has been done you. Your tale is told. And we thank you for it. You are heard. And free to go.
Hey, I'm right here.
Aye, you are.
It's time for the lesser palingenesis.
Time to bring you home.
From flesh to word. Word to heart.
From flesh to word. Word to heart.
Air to fire. Fire to earth. I'm hollowing. It's working.
Air to fire. Fire to earth.
Ending to beginning, indivisible. Death to the living. Life to the dead.
Ending to beginning, indivisible. Death to the living. Life to the dead. Antea. Antea!
Bread.
It was. You're back.
Thanks to you.
Is left.
Antea never fully recovered from the time when she was dead. And the things he'd done to bring her back had changed Red too. Some say you should fight for what you want. But some fights, I believe, are best lost. Battered by their ordeal at the hands of the Nightmare, the lovers must rebuild from the wreckage. A new and stronger union. For better, or for worse. Now, far from the place where New Eden once stood, Red and Antea will renew their love. A shared interest will bind them once more. A taste for forbidden fruit.